Jurassic World Evolution 2 is getting a lot of new content in the Dominion Biosyn Expansion, which ties the game in with Jurassic World Dominion. It's quite an expensive DLC. Is it worth it? Hello everyone and thanks for checking out this video. I'm going to show you the content for the Dominion Biosyn Expansion quickly and tell you what I think of it to help you decide if you want to get this DLC or not. Frontier gave me early access to the Dominion Biosyn Expansion, so I've been playing with it for the past couple of days and I have a good sense of its value. Because the DLC is directly linked to the movie, the DLC's story modes, as in the additional campaign and the Chaos Theory mode to a certain extent of course, do contain some spoilers for Jurassic World Dominion. I won't get into any spoilers for this video, rest assured. It's just something you should know before you buy the expansion and get into the gameplay if you haven't seen the movie yet. I've played the additional campaign missions halfway through. I got the chance to play the first part of the campaign during an event Frontier hosted a few weeks ago. You might have seen that video. I think it is important for you to know that there is more to it than what I got to play a few weeks ago. Not just the second level, which came after, but really the first level is much more drawn out with more mission objectives than what we got to play as content creators at the time. So there's more gameplay to it than you've seen last week, again if you did watch my video on it. While it is more, the Biosyn Campaign Edition about matches the playtime length of the campaign that originally came with the base game. At least I would guess as much based on, again, me completing the first half of it at this point. That means that in total the campaign still doesn't stack up to the campaign of the first Jurassic World Evolution. So manage your expectations in that regard. If you were expecting like 10 more hours of gameplay, it's definitely not like that. The first part of the Biosyn campaign is comparable to what we know, as in building operations, balancing our exhibits with dinosaurs, and dealing with illnesses and injuries. The second part I have not yet played. I have already seen that it has a slight but interesting surprise in store for us, but in terms of gameplay, it'll be more of the same. The other gameplay addition is the Chaos Theory gameplay, which does give a new kind of gameplay as we have to deal with rustlers trying to steal our dinosaurs. It is a brand new gameplay mechanic isolated to this Chaos Theory mode. That will make it stand out from the rest of the gameplay, from the entire campaign, from the other Chaos Theory modes, and it makes me wish all Chaos Theory modes had their own unique distinguishing feature like that. Notably, there are no additional challenge modes for the new maps. The new maps are of course available in Sandbox. As I had hoped for, the Sierra Nevada map is indeed permanently snowy, which is exactly what I wanted. But the Biosyn Valley map is probably my new favorite map in the game overall, as it has a gorgeous landscape to build in, and it's also very large. The same goes for the Sierra Nevada map, although they are not bigger than the biggest maps we already had in the game. The new maps aren't perfect though. The Sierra Nevada map is very boring in its terrain textures. It's pretty much all white. And the Biosyn Valley has unique trees in the brush tool, but doesn't have unique individually placeable trees, instead using the same we have on the Canada and California map. It also does not come with a new set of rocks, as we previously thought. These rocks that we see are instead part of the brush tool, same for the logs. Another big feature of the Dominion Biosyn Expansion for Jurassic World Evolution 2 is its new set of buildings. The set is comparable to the DFW set in the sense that we have reskins for the operations buildings, but only a new shelter for the guests. In spite of this, it is my favorite building set, I would say. I love the design of these buildings, but more importantly, it introduces a new viewing attraction and a new form of transportation. The viewing tower doesn't need a path connection, so it is perfect for building your natural dinosaur preserves without compromising on dinosaur visibility. They can raise and lower for two different viewing experiences, kind of similar to the viewing galleries for the lagoons. Instead of connecting by path, they connect via the new Hyperloop system. This is an underground transportation method. Only a couple of buildings in the set are compatible with the Hyperloop, but you can still get the most out of it. You can use the Hyperloop to connect remote areas in your parks by using path to connect regular buildings to your Hyperloop compatible buildings, so the connection ends up working the same way as a monorail connection, or as part of the new update, the tours, which also count as transport now. The Hyperloop is a cool system that I am completely addicted to. Speaking of addicted, how can I ever go back to not having invisible fences? They are absolutely brilliant to have in the game for more open and natural parks, and as far as I've been able to research, they are indestructible. Obviously, when the power goes out, your dinosaurs are out of there. No delay at all. But if a dinosaur gets unhappy, I waited and waited and waited, and the T-Rex was close to death. She did not break out of the invisible fences, I guess because there's nothing for them to attack. The expansion also comes with decorations lifted directly out of Jurassic World Dominion. The decorations have a great aesthetic, but unfortunately not much variation between the pieces. A couple of them are quite similar, but as a creative park builder, I'm always happy to just see more decorations. Last but certainly not least are the dinosaurs of the new expansion pack, and the quality of all of these is through the roof. I could not be more pleased. We get 4 entirely new species, as well as several new skins and variants for existing pieces. To get it out of the way right away, no. Unfortunately, they did not sneak in Atrociraptor, Morus Intrepidus, Oviraptor, Lysosaurus, or any of the missing variants and skins into this DLC, nor in the free update. They're not part of this, they're not coming into the game right now, which is still very strange in my opinion, and the only disappointment when it comes to the dinosaurs in this expansion. But let's look at what we do get in this DLC, because it's so good. The 4 species look absolutely amazing and instantly earned a spot high up on my list of favorite creatures in the game. They all come with their Dominion movie skin, as well as having the familiar body colors and patterns, which I'm showing off in a separate video because there's just too much good stuff there. Like, you need to see them. You need to see them. Trust me on that. The new variants and skins are great additions as well. These I am also showing off properly in a separate video. But my favorites are the new Rex skins, the 2022 Rexy, and a fluffy T-Rex from 65 million years ago. Even the one that I was initially unsure of it being different enough to be worthy of being added, namely the Dilophosaurus, is a welcome addition. It is definitely my favorite skin for the Dilo. In my opinion, the volume of the content that is coming in the Biosyn Expansion is comparable to the Return to Jurassic Park DLC from the first Jurassic World Evolution, and that one was the same price as this one. I think the price is fair for the amount of content that we get. I think the dinosaurs in this expansion are absolute must-haves, especially if you like feathered dinosaurs, and as a creative park builder, I already can't live without the Biosyn Valley map, the new decorations, the new buildings, and the Hyperloop transport. So if you can spare the price of the expansion, I highly recommend it. I can only detract points for the missing dinosaurs and the fact that my long-awaited and beloved permanently snowy map is a little boring due to the terrain textures. I give the Dominion Biosyn Expansion an 8 out of 10. If you want to see more videos about the new Dominion DLC, like showcases of all the new skins, and of course my creative park builds with the new species, check out the channel and please subscribe to the channel. We are growing like crazy and everyone is welcome in this square. There is plenty of space. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the game.